Gertie the Dinosaur is a 1914 American animated short film. It is the first cartoon to feature a character with an appealing personality. The film was also the first to be created using keyframe animation. Another pioneer of early animation was a man called Earl Hurd. He is noted for creating and producing the silent Bobby Bumps animated short. Hurd and Bray are jointly responsible for developing the process involved in cell animation, and were granted patents for their process in 1914. My third practitioner is also from the Bradford Media Museum trip.
We still do everything with drawing, so once the storyboard is approved, then I break it down into each individual scene and then look at how to break down the key moments within that scene.
Jonah Quinn is an English film director and animator. Her commercials for Charmin toilet paper and Whiskas cat food feature her distinctive drawing style, always rendered on paper or cell.
Draw what's called a layout, for each section, and then break that down. It's all about breaking it down into manageable portions.
Of course, any modern animator would have been influenced by animation giants such as Disney, DreamWorks, and Hanna-Barbera.
Walt Disney and his brother Roy O. Disney were only making animated shorts under the name Laugh-O-Grams during the 20s in Kansas City. Then, they moved to Hollywood, making the Disney Brothers studio with two different series that were mildly successful: Alice's Comedies, which were based on the books of Alice's Wonderland, and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. In 1928, Walt lost most of his animators because he refused to reduce production budgets of Oswald that was offered by Charles B. Mintz. After Walt lost Oswald, he needed to create a new character to replace the rabbit, and thus, Mickey Mouse was born.
DreamWorks Animation. Now let's start in the world of the 80s. Carl Rosedahl has founded a little company called Pacific Data Images by a small loan from his dad in 1980. During that time, the company only made TV logos and commercials like NBC. Then, Pacific Data got its big break in 1991 when they were asked to do the special effects for Terminator 2. Meanwhile, on October 12, 1994, former Disney executive Jeffrey Katzenberg, music executive David Geffen, and god of movies Steven Spielberg joined together to create DreamWorks SKG. In 1996, the two companies decided to merge up and decided, with the technology of Pacific Data, to make their first computer animated film. So, in 1998, they released Ants, the second computer animated film ever released.
I have created some simple animations, both 3D, using programs such as Autodesk 3ds Max. And 2D, such as this video, as well as more complex animations using Adobe After Effects. Though I have a vested interest in 3D and animation, my main interest is in concept art, particularly that of video games. There are so many practitioners in this area, most being virtually unheard of, that it is difficult to pick out individuals and their specific works. Concept artist Glenn Rain is one of my favourite artists. He creates the artwork for games such as World of Warcraft, StarCraft and the Diablo series.
He's the genius behind the visuals that make the game what it is.
You nailed it. Thanks.
The visuals that we've seen in the game and that we're seeing out here are just outstanding. Where does the inspiration come from for this?
Well, you know, we have the World of Warcraft video game, and all the inspiration, I think, really comes from that. So we owe a lot to the developers of the game. What we have to focus on is it accurate to the game? Are the weapons accurate to the game? Is the armor accurate to the game? Characters?
Another concept artist that does great work is Matt Carafano, the art director for the Elder Scrolls series.
With each game, you know, we try to really reinvent the series and really take it a huge step further in just the visuals, graphics, everything about the game. So the concept piece Ray's working on right now is one of the statues of a god in the game. And you know, he starts with a rough sketch like this in Photoshop, and then eventually, you know, layers it up until we're, you know, happy with it and know the look of it. And then once it's completed, you know, we'll pass it off to, in this case, one of the character artists, and they'll start modeling it immediately. And then as soon as that's done, it gets textured and goes right in the game, and then we look at it and make sure it's working for the space. But it's a pretty quick turnaround from concept to, you know, our tools to right into the game.
Matt Rhodes is another concept artist I greatly admire. Currently the Associate Art Director at BioWare, he was a leading concept designer for Commander Shepard in the Mass Effect series.
My name is Matt Rhodes. I'm the lead concept artist at BioWare. I've wanted to draw since I was a kid, but at the time video games weren't as sophisticated as they were, so I didn't even know to dream about getting into video games. Concept art, we found, has done sort of two jobs. One is to provide the blueprints for everything that gets made, the characters, environments, objects, everything from weapons to, you know, the magic effects, everything. But then there's also the inspiration side. So it's creating those images either early on or later in the process that get the team pumped up and that also sort of let everyone know in a very instantly recognizable way where we're going.
The reason I wish to follow the virtual environments pathway is because I believe that skills in 3D modelling and an ability to put together short animated sequences will be useful to me in the future when presenting concepts for characters, creatures or environments.